Well, let me warn you that in the beginning of this recording, you may face or find a contradictory statement, like if the information desk is on the left of the entrance, you may hear that it is on the right. So ignore that one sentence, please. Okay? You may hear a false information or a wrong sentence about location of information desk. Just ignore that, and rest you need to figure out where some other places are located. Okay?
Okay.
Right, so I'm playing it now.
Recording 18.
Morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. Now, from next week, there'll be a rota for all of you to help out at the information stand here at Brookside Market. So I just wanted to give you a briefing about what you can find where. The information booth is to the left of the entrance, and I've given you all a plan to mark important places on. One of the most common inquiries is, where can I pay for my parking? People are amazed when we tell them that it's free now. We used to charge for it, and there was a ticket booth to the left of the entrance, but now that it has been turned into a small stage, we hold cookery demonstrations there. Local chefs come in and show people how to prepare dishes. It's really popular, and you get a nice view of the fountain there. We have over 50 stalls at the markets, selling everything from fresh fruit and vegetables to locally made crafts, which unfortunately means people won't find things like books or anything second-hand. We have a famous baker at the market, and many people get here really early just to buy his produce. His stall is located at the back of the markets, next to the barbecue. We sell burgers and sausages there, but a lot of people like to bring their own lunch to eat, and they're welcome to go to the special area near the tree in the middle of the markets, where they can do just that. It's handy for the toilets too. The markets are located next to a circus school that holds classes for children at the weekend, so we often get a lot of family groups in. There's a playground on the right-hand side that's popular with them, and just in front of that is where the farmers bring along chickens, rabbits and lambs for the children to pet. That's always a very popular feature, so you'll definitely be asked about that. Just let people know there is a small fee if the children want to feed them. Well, that's everything for now.
Well, that's everything for now. So, need your answers? Amjad?
FBDA.
Let me write it. We'll sort. Okay, F.
B, D and A.
B. Well done. D. Oh wow. And A. Okay. What about you, doctor?
Okay, so FEDA.
FEBA.
D.
D. Okay, D is okay. You are only confused about E. Okay, actually, it says that means you will not find second-hand books. You only find the fresh produce here. You will not find. Actually, she says you won't find second-hand books there. It's about a baker. You know, people come here very early in the morning to to buy his produce. So it's about fresh bread.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Now, can you tell me that who is the speaker and who are her audience in this? Who is the speaker and to whom she is talking to? Any idea? Yeah.
Uh, if you just
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to
please,
ask the
please, please,
gender,
please, please go
one
ahead.
was a male and one was a lady only. But I don't
Okay.
give so much concern to that particular question of yours.
Yeah, yeah, I know that. I know that. Right. So I just, right now I'll force you guys to try to understand each and everything. Although this is not required in the exam, you only have to look at the questions. That's it. Like you did. And, both of you did made at least three correct, four correct for Amjad and three correct for Doctor. So that means it's a good, rate. But but I want you guys to just keep your ears so focused that you don't miss any word. I just want to build this habit. Fine. So in the exam, even if you perform lesser, you will get good score. Now, if I give you the background, the lady is kind of senior receptionist, okay, and as a supervisor or foreman kind of thing, and she is actually talking to her staff that from today or from the next day or from the next week, now we will have a rota. That means, shifts of duties, a roster of duties, in which today there will be one person standing here in the information on the information desk. Next day there will be another person. So these trainees or whosoever are junior members are there, she is briefing them that, well, first, before you come here and stand on the information desk, first you need to learn that which thing is located where. Only then you will be able to tell people who will come to you and ask about different questions. Got it? So this is the context. Now I will just play this initial part again just to make you understand, and then I'll move to the next exercise.
Recording 18.
Morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. Now, from next week, there'll be a rota for all of you to help out at the information stand here at Brookside Market. So, I just wanted to give you a briefing about what you can find where. The information booth is to the left of the entrance, and I've given you all a plan to mark important places on. One of the most common inquiries is, where can I pay for my park?
So now I hope you understand. She has given the plan or this map to everyone, and now she's briefing that the first thing she's telling that a very common inquiry that people ask or people make to the person standing in this on this information desk is where we can buy tickets and so on. So I hope this is clear now. Okay. Now there are some very simple exercises, and such kind of questions rarely come in the exam. But still, even if the chance of coming these type of questions is only 1%, but still I want to cover it. Okay, I don't want any surprises in the exam. So that's why I have included it in this. I hope you can tell me, what is this thing? This is a pipe generally. This is a spring. Okay, and what is this? This is a saw or a wheel. This is a container or a tank, water tank. Okay, and this is a hand pump, and this is a grill. We generally use this word for grill. Like if you have seen the window ACs, the old window ACs, they used to have such kind of grills, right? And you can also find such parts in many of the machineries. So why I told you, because if you know these features, spring and wheels and tank and grill, you will be able to describe certain points. So I'm just skipping this exercise actually. This is very basic level exercise. Here. Now look at the diagram completion task. This is a diagram completion task, okay? And there are 4 questions in it. I hope you can see it. Question number 1 here. Question number 2 here. Question number 4 here, it is referring to this point actually. Let me draw it for you again if you can't see it. This one. And question number 1 is, I guess, here or something. Okay. Now, you will, and question number 3 is here. Sorry. This one. For this question, you have got these 6 options, right? Before looking at the details of the diagram, the first thing you have to do, I'm repeating it again and again, the first thing that you have to do is the heading of the diagram or the map. And here it is the party popper machine. And then you will just see the options. And please go through these options twice. Parts, cooling fan, wine, storage, detonator, party starter, motor, winder. One round. Then second pass, cooling fan, okay, storage, okay, detonator, party starter, motor, and winder. So you have gone through these options twice. Then, you can just start with, okay, this is a wheel. Obviously, if there's a wheel, it will rotate. Now there's something, these are bottles probably here, and this is kind of something I know. So we will listen to the recording and then decide. Fine? Okay. Sorry. Right, I'm playing it and I want your answers now. Do you want any time to look at the questions or look at the options again? No. You don't require. Shall I play? Okay. Okay, thank you. Uh-oh, what happened?
Recording 20.
Hello. I've come along to tell you about an invention of mine called the Party Popper Machine. Here is a diagram of the machine, and I'll just explain how it works. It's basically a set of interconnected cogs and wheels that rotate in turn and cause a party popper to pop. The process begins with what I like to call the party starter. It's located on the top of the base at the front. I was very fond of wind-up toys when I was young, but sadly I couldn't find a way to attach a winder to this contraption. But I think this big round button looks nice and dramatic, and my children fight over getting to push it. The button activates a small motor that's housed directly under the box at the front. It generates enough power to get everything going, but not so much that it overheats and needs a cooling fan. The legs elevate the base and help with that. The base also has another use, as it can also hold up to 10 spare party poppers, so you never need to worry about running out. Once the motor is running, it turns the spiky wheel that is attached to the loaded party popper. I call this the detonator. As it turns, the string of the party popper slowly wraps around it and is pulled tighter and tighter until it explodes. So much fun!
Wow, so much fun. So, did you enjoy that much? Oh, no.
No.
No? Okay. Amjad, so much fun, right? Answer.
Sir, it was DEBC.
D, E, B, and C. Amjad, from my side, you're free now, right? Correct. Doctor, you missed something?
Yes, sir, I am confused in third question.
Okay, what are your answers?
Right. D, E, B, C.
Okay. B and C.
D,
Correct.
E, B, C.
No, D, if it is D, E, B, C, then it's correct.
Okay. That's
Right,
fine.
so yeah, D, E, B, C is correct. Now, in this case, he just explains that, well, he starts the process with this button. You see, I just start it, I call it as party starter. And, my children, they just fight over pushing this button. Just beneath this is a motor, which is not, uh, very big, but it is not even too small. It is good enough to keep this rotation, on, but it is not so big that it heats up. And then it also says that this base has an extra use. No, sorry, there's a base here, and this base provides a passage for the air, So there's no extra cooling fan required. So then it talks about the base has another purpose in which you can store different, party poppers in this. And then one of this popper is loaded here, and whenever the motor rotates, this wheel rotates, it just, starts moving, or wrapping this string, and it gets tighter and tighter, and it explodes. A lot of fun, right? Now listen again and answer the following questions. Which were the distractors, and decide why these answers are wrong. But luckily, not luckily, based on your expertise, you were not distracted by the winder, and you were not distracted by the cooling fan, right? That's a good thing. So, doctor, you were confused about which two options. Can you tell me?
Like I was not sure the answer of third question.
Oh, okay.
Like
All right.
not 100% sure. I don't know why.
Fine, fine. That's fine. That's fine. Now, Now, describing an action, we have also touched this thing in our writing test, that how an action is described. And when we describe how something works, we often use prepositions or adverbs to explain the movement. I'll explain it like in the next exercise. So, describing how a machine works often involves verbs that we do not use commonly. For example, these are the verbs: put it inside, roll it down, turn it around. You see, upside down. For these kind of things, you will find some arrows. Sometimes you will find some arrows. You need to see what this arrow is saying. This arrow is saying that put it inside the box. Okay, then it then passes through a pipe. So for this, you will expect an arrow like this. It passes through a pipe like this, or you can, just move from this direction and you can put an arrow here. Similarly, turn the container upside down. So how you would do it? Maybe this way, or maybe this way, right? Similarly, the trolley moves along the track. So it will be something along the track means this way. The area is beneath the tables. Maybe it will be marked like this. The paper was, then wrapped around. So for this, you can say this one arrow here and one arrow here, or only one arrow. Then the air then forces the air, sorry, this then forces the air upwards. Upward means like this, like this. Similarly, now here you can't see the paper, unfortunately. It's kind of a paper here. Okay, cut the paper diagonally, and for that, for cut, you may find a dotted line most of the time. Fine. So these are the basic symbols that you need to learn about the diagrams. Again, this is a thermometer. I don't need to ask. This is a calculator. This is a scale or weighing machine, and this is a speedometer. Just skip it. This is for beginners. You don't need to listen to. Okay, for a process, there will be some words, linking words, like first of all, this is done, then this is done, next is this, then it is done, and then finally this thing. So these linking words actually tell you that now the speaker has moved to the next step of the process. Okay, we've already seen this thing in detail in the writing test. That's why I'm moving very fast on this. And secondly, these are very basic things, and I'm sure that you must be knowing it already. Okay. Now listen to the description of the process and fill in the gaps. Then circle all the verbs. Okay, forget about circling. I just want your answers for these gaps. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and number 7 here. Okay. Before I play the recording, you have some time to look at questions or look at this description. Your time starts now. Okay, I'm playing the recording now.
Recording 22.
Here's how to wrap a present. First, gather together all of the things you need. Wrapping paper, sticky tape, scissors, some ribbon, and of course, a present. Then, place your present on the opened wrapping paper and cut a suitable amount using the scissors. Next, wrap the paper around the present and stick it down with sticky tape. Then, neatly fold up each of the ends of the paper and stick them down. Finally, tie the ribbon around your present. It's now ready to present.
Okay. Was it too fast to write?
No.
Yes, sir. No.
Okay. Oh, Amjad is, it's a different kind of person. So, actually, otherwise, this was very simple exercise. Okay. The
Yes,
purpose
sir.
of this exercise is just to tell you that whenever there's a process, we will find a flow in the process. Like, first of all, this thing is done. Then, can you see this? Then this is done. And next, this is done. Then it is done. And finally, this is the stuff. Okay. So there's always a flow. But remember one thing in IELTS listening test, you will be given enough time. I'm not saying too much time, but ample time or enough time which is required to write one answer. Don't think that, while you are writing the answer to question number 1, the recording will also, may give the answer to question number 2. No. The next discussion would be just, here and there. It will not be a correct answer. So as soon as you will write, let's say 4 seconds are required to write the answer, you will not listen, or you may, the recording will not give you answer to the next question. So don't worry about that. However, in section 4, the speed is fast a little bit. In section 4, you have to rush. Okay, here if I say the speed of this question was equivalent to that of question 4, but ease or difficulty level was obviously not according to question 4. Okay, or section 4, sorry, not question 4, section 4. Right. So what are the answers?
Sir, number 1, place. Number 2, cut. Number 3, wrap. Number 4, stick. 5, fold. And 6 is stick.
And 7, you missed.
Tie.
7, tie. Yeah.
Yeah. Please look at the spellings if you are making any mistake. So that answer will be counted wrong. Agenda. Now, this from this onwards, so far, although we have done some exercises in which you had to see the arguments and discussion on opinions and attitudes, but the focus of those exercises still was information gathering. It was not purely about attitude and opinion. Okay.
Okay.
So now let me show you an exercise. Listen to 8 extracts. That means you will hear 8 pieces of recording in one go. What does each speaker show? A strong agreement, neither a complete agreement, not disagreement or complete disagreement. How to attempt this exercise? Just write 1, 2, 3, up to 8. Just write the numbers. Okay? There will be 8 recordings. So if you think recording 1 or part 1, it is about strongly a strong agreement, or it is about a complete disagreement, or it is about neither. So accordingly, just write A or B or C here. Then same goes for next recording, and then next recording, and so on. So you only have to write options A, B, or C, one of them. Got it? So you can do
Okay.
numbering and then I'll play. Please let me know once you are done with the numbering.
Done.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
done. Okay. I'm playing it now.
Recording 23. 1,
Well, I agree up to a point.
2,
I think that's a really valid point.
3,
Well, I'm not so sure about that.
4,
I think you're absolutely right.
5,
That's a bit hard to believe.
6,
I think that's highly unlikely.
7,
That seems doubtful to me.
8,
I have to admit, I don't like the sound of that at all.
Okay. So I hope you have written the answers. First one was B. Just let me know if there's any disagreement. First B, second A, third B, fourth A, fifth B, sixth C, seventh B, and eighth C. I hope all correct.
I got 2 wrong.
Which one?
1 and 5th.
Okay,
So one wrong, the first one.
first one. So okay, now let me play it. I will focus on first and fifth only.
Recording 23. 1,
Well, I agree up to a point.
So
2,
wait.
I think
So she agrees up to a point. That means neither a complete agreement. It's a partial agreement, right?
Okay.
Nor a complete disagreement. You got it?
Okay, sir.
Got it, sir.
Please look at the wordings. I know what's the confusion. You know, many of the students will get confused about it. Why? In journal, we always find options like neither agree nor disagree. Okay, but here the given option is neither a complete agreement. That means there is a partial agreement or there is a partial disagreement. You getting it?
Yes, sir.
So that makes sense now. Now, if you listen to it from this angle, that will make sense.
Recording 23. 1,
Well, I agree up to a point.
Partial agreement, right?
2,
I think that's a really valid point.
3,
Well, I'm not so sure about that.
4,
I think you're absolutely right.
5,
That's a bit hard to believe.
Right. So, Amjad, what you chose for this?
So I was just confused between B and C.
Yeah. When you say,
So,
I hope it's clear now. When you say
yes,
that's hard to, yeah, I think it's hard to believe. That means you're not fully agreeing to it.
yes.
Okay. Obviously, this is again very simple exercise. These are some basics for those who don't know about this such things, like worried. Can you tell me the which word is a synonym of worried? A B C D E F G.
Concern?
Mm-hmm. Worried, concerned. Okay, let's do that. Then enthusiastic,
Eager,
eager. Good. Then afraid,
scared,
Scared?
scared. Okay. Then confused.
dubious,
Mm, okay, for the time being, I'm doing it. Okay, right. This is just for you. Then irritated.
okay. That
Annoyed?
for dubious, I'll go for the doubtful option. Sorry.
Yeah, that is perfect now. So irritated. Sorry, irritated,
Annoyed?
annoyed. Yeah, and reluctant,
Hesitant?
hesitant, and doubtful.
Dubious, confused, or
Hmm.
puzzled.
Yeah, doubtful is dubious now, right? And for confused, you would say puzzled. I'm confused. I'm puzzled
Okay.
about it. Okay.
Okay.
So let's move forward. Now listen to an extract from a listening section 3 task. Listening section 3 task. And can you tell me what is the focus? I'm just not from you. What is the focus of listening section 3? Doctor,
Yes, sir.
what is the focus of listening section 3? What is it about generally? What kind of discussion you may hear in section 3?
Yeah, so there will be discussion between two group, or you can say multiple group,
Actually, two or
multiple
three,
person.
2 to 4 people, yeah, 3 to 4 people.
Yeah.
And in a what would be the background or topic of the discussion? It will be related to educational background, right? Some
Okay.
university assignment or a university task or holding a party or maybe something. Okay, but it will be
Okay.
mostly about the educational background. Now listen to an extract from the listening section 3. What aspect of the research did the students find surprising? You see, again, there's a discussion among the students. They are talking about the finding of a research. Okay. Now I'm playing this recording. Before I play, please look at these 3 options. The amount of the time it took to achieve the results, the reaction of the public to the research, or the findings that the research produced. While reading these options, try to relate every option with the previous sentence, with the question statement. Like, they were were they surprised by the amount of the time it took to achieve the results, or they were surprised by the reaction of the public to the research, or they were surprised by the findings the research produced? You see, this linking is very important. I hope just by linking, you have just heard me now. By linking this part of the question with every sentence made more sense. It becomes easier to understand, isn't it?
Okay.
Okay, I hope it is. Right. So now I'm playing the recording and I want an answer from you guys.
Recording 24.
So, what did you think about the research?
I thought it was well thought out, although it did take 3 years to produce any results.
Yes, but that's to be expected given the age of the participants. I mean, they had to chart their progress over several years.
I suppose so.
But didn't you think the results were astonishing? I know I did.
Yeah, me too. It's amazing to think that watching TV can have such a clearly demonstrated effect on children's obesity problems. It's quite alarming, really.
I agree.
People were generally unimpressed by the findings, though, which is typical when there's a suggestion that we change our behaviour.
Okay. answer?
Sir, option C.
C.
Okay, okay, well done, well done. Both of you are correct, and it's a good fight or good competition going on between you two. So now, here I want to highlight certain points. Although you made it very correct, where you reached to the answer correctly, but still I want to highlight certain points. There are certain words. I have covered this thing in our reading part as well. There are certain words which indicate some surprising, event. For example, and there are certain other words which tell that it's not a surprising thing. When I say, well, it was already expected that this study will take time, considering the age, and the results were have to be corrected over a period of time, maybe in 3 years period of time. So that is obvious that it should take time. So I've just used one word. So if it is obvious, or if I say it was expected, or if I say, well, it's very common, that means this is a routine matter. This is not a surprising thing, not a new thing, right? Similarly, they talk about the same thing that, well, actually, they talk about the findings. Well, it is astonishing. That means it is surprising. So please, have a look on these words. These words are important. Okay. Now, can you tell me? This question is again not written here, and I know Amjad would say, sir, I didn't focus on it, but I want you guys to answer me. What this study, what was the finding of this study? From this talk, what can you conclude?
Sir, you know my answer.
Yeah, I know that. Your answer is that I only mean business. I don't listen to the information which is not asked in the question. So, doctor, what is your answer? Same?
So I don't know the answer.
Oh, you don't know. Well, the research
It's
finding
about
was. Mhm.
something related to best.
Actually, sir, they discuss the research which is related to the obesity
Yeah,
in
that is.
children population.
Yeah, they related
Which is
watching TV with obesity problems in children.
yes, sir.
And that was alarming. And they found that, well, we never knew that watching TV can have such a demonstrating effect on the health of the children, or on their weight or obesity problems, right? And then they said that, well, people were not happy with this finding. And then he says, well, that's very obvious when we ask people to change their habits. And in this particular case, they are asking to change their TV watching habits. They are, so whenever you